Every man has his techniques, and they're all different. And when you know mine, you'll be dead.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back yet again. This is going to be our end of the year review. Maybe if we're lucky, Mitch, maybe next week we'll get another episode out. Fingers crossed. But if not, we'll do this as the review. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is the end of the year, and then maybe we can start off in January with some fresh stuff.
Yeah, that's it though. But this is I know it's slowed down towards the end of the year, but this is like our first full January to December year of doing the podcast.
Yeah, the fall was slow, but I mean, looking back, we did a lot of stuff the first half of the year. So Jeremy from Conservation was the first episode in 2024.
Yeah, Jeremy, good
that was
dude.
Cool to see, like, the perspective of, we had talked to all those other shop owners that were kind of doing it, and to see how, somebody who's, it just went out and had to try things, and sometimes it doesn't always work. But that dude rules.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's like the reality. And I guess on a positive, I don't know how in the loop I've been with it all, but I haven't seen like shop going under recently. So
yeah, I mean, I hear a lot of the things are slow, but hopefully it's picking up a little bit more for some people. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, like, the holidays are better than they were last year.
Yeah, and hopefully too, with people going out, not as saturated, it can, the other shops that are remaining can get a little more revenue from the, instead of having 4 shops in a town, if you're down to 3, hopefully that helps everybody out too that's still doing it.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see after talking to like some of my accounts of like, did you sell more starter completes this year than you did last year? Because that was one of the things I heard from everybody was like, there's no new kids picking up skating, so it's they're not selling the starter completes like they would in previous years.
It is crazy. Really is, like, just the lack of young kids, or if you see them, they're all like, it's like a superstar young kid, and that's it.
Yeah, that doesn't know to take their helmet off when they're in a store.
Yeah. What do we have after that? I should probably go to our YouTube page.
So my favorite one, I think, was next, which was like the should they stay or should they go episode.
Oh,
with all the brands.
How funny is that too? Like if we're like Lakai was one of them, and oops, I'm considering them gone now.
Yeah, it's gone. I know. I see tons of people. Dude, I joined the most ridiculous Facebook group. It's like skaters over 30, and it's the amount of people that, like, when you see a product that you're like, who the hell is buying this? It's the dudes in there. Like, these guys that like don't, you're still buying flip boards because you rode them 20 years ago.
That's so crazy.
But it's like the best to see that these people are out there somewhere. It's so amusing.
Yeah, they do exist.
Yeah.
Funny, I guess, off that topic, the Sal 23 came back. And did you ever skate those, Mitch?
I did. I didn't like them personally. I love the way they look, but the right where that like rubber meets on like the toe piece is like where I would like skate a lot, because I was like just learning flip tricks and stuff when those came out. So I destroyed those like instantly. They just like split right at the seam and it just all blew out. So I'm like, I'm never skating these again. But I watch other people skate them and they look so cool. But you couldn't pay me to wear an S shoe now.
Were yours Etnies or S?
Etnies.
Yours were, okay. Yeah, I remember, man, they were so iconic. Like, that was just like, oh my God, this is the sickest shoe. And then they've reissued them before since, I think in like the early 2000s.
Yeah,
they did it.
Ago.
Yeah. I guess these are supposed to be like true dimensions to the originals.
Yeah, because the first ones were slimmer for sure from like a couple years ago.
Yeah. And I think it's cool, but I don't know. I also don't have the desire to buy Etnies. But it's cool they are Etnies. They had to be Etnies if they brought them back. That's how the original.
Oh, they're Etnies this time?
They're Etnies, yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize. That's
because they were S, right? The last time they were S.
Yeah, they were pretty much like an Excel Slim sole on a with the Sal upper.
Yeah, these have the all this, like I said, similar specs to the originals, and has the black with the white on the bottom. Um, yeah, they're really cool, but I have oddly no desire to own them. But it's funny. I think there's a lot of people that are into them. I think that holds up more than like a Krieger reissue. I think this is actually skatable.
Right. It's
Like
functional where like that shoe's not.
Even Soltec getting bought, like, does that count anymore? I mean, I guess this is cool that they have, it's Sal involved, but
yeah, in the next year, it's going to be interesting to see what like that Nidecker group does to like fucking blow it or bring it back somehow. But
yeah,
we're already hearing stuff that's not looking great.
Yeah, they suck. But this was already in the works too, I think. So they were probably already in production and had to, my guess is it wouldn't have been financially
timeline
advisable to can it, having it so far in the mix of production and whatnot from when they bought the company.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. It's funny because this is like one of the cooler things they've done recently, and I don't know. I don't care. I should care, but I don't.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, I'll give them the credit for it, but it's not something I would spend money on.
Yeah, I just can't see it. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things that seems like almost like, and I love nostalgia and all that, but it's like just with the shoes, like it's still like a puffy shoe. I don't know.
Right.
But
and there are the people that skate the Excel, like that Excel, the old school one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
S.
Yeah, it's another one that can go now.
Yeah. Who else went out this year? Yes, that's right. All-timers. And I wouldn't have thought they were going to go out, but they were done.
No. It's funny. I haven't seen like much about any of those people going. Well, Elijah just went pro for Edgelord or fuck it.
Edgelord, yeah. Those dudes. I heard those dudes make like $10,000 a month on that.
Yeah. Heard they're all making bank.
It's all like,
how long is that sustainable?
It's not. I like, does that even sell? Like, that's this other money, I think, and they're just funneling into skating, which is kind of cool in a way. Like, oh, we'll give these skaters some money.
Yeah.
But yeah,
get paid while you can. Like, I'm not going to knock it, but 3 years from now, is that going to be a brand?
No.
When they see they don't get anything back out of it.
Right? Will Marshall's not on anything. Zared's not on anything.
Yeah, Alexis, I don't think is on anything.
Yeah. So crazy. It's just skating. It's like, it's rough, man. And I guess the money's so little too, Dave. You don't, if you have something else, you don't need a board sponsor.
Yeah, you're not making, I mean, it's really just like, I don't want to have to buy boards.
Yeah. And I'm sure people will just give them boards, like without having to pay them. Like, sure, here, take some boards.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. What else went under?
So we can side note that too, like a more recent with that Xander dial tone part that just came out. Mm-hmm. Like, how does that dude not officially on a board brand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we've heard he's on this brand, we've heard he's on this brand, but
yeah, like just put him on already.
Crazy. That part was pretty incredible. Like, the skating in that part was pretty incredible.
Yeah, and it was 5 minutes, which I thought was weird. Like, why blow it all in 5 minutes? Like, that could have been a 2.5-minute video and then another 2.5-minute video. Or, I don't know. That's just when I go into like brand marketing or whatever. Like, there would have been more of a use to do two things. But what do I know? But yeah, exactly. I mean, that part's insane. That one spot by you that he skates, where he did nollie crooks into that ledge into the bank. Right? That was.
Which one? Sorry.
He did nollie. Was it nollie crooks on that ledge into that crazy bank?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. That's so insane. Yeah, super good.
Yeah, that part's crazy.
Yeah. Who else went under?
Mini Logo go under?
I don't know if they went under, but that's another one. Yeah, I lost two skate jobs this year. two industry jobs. So shows how
Industry guy Steve is on the out.
yeah. Yeah, I lost the mini logo social media thing. I guess I couldn't save them. Um, and then we lost our podcast at Transworld.
Oh,
That
yeah,
happened
we
this year.
did.
Yeah. Um, it is what it is.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, and we always have this. We can do whatever. Like there was kind of that was different than this.
And that's what I think we like went for it because they knew like we could still keep this to be our own and have that over there and it's separate.
Yeah, and that was a thing too, which was actually really cool. That when Blair approached us, I think that was like the first thing I asked him too. Like we talked before, and it was like, "So what happens to our podcast?" And he's like, "No, you can keep it. Like keep doing what you're doing." And it was like, "Oh, okay, then definitely this is like a no brainer."
Yeah, I knew we weren't going to give up control of this.
Yeah,
to do it, it wasn't worth it.
No, not at all. But it was fun. Blair's a nice dude. Blair's a very nice dude.
Yeah. And it set you up to be able to do those skate orders.
Yeah, that was cool. So that's pretty awesome, which went into my skateboard collecting addiction now, which is
It did. It set you off.
Yeah.
Man, that all started this year, huh?
Yeah, I think the first one I did was with Scoot, and I want to say May.
I was going to say that was because we did mine in June.
Yeah. So that was what kind of set it off. And Dave Scoot, man, he handed me a board like, here you go. He gave me this Chris Keefe. Well, first he gave me, it was a Rob Welsh Expedition board. And he was like, here, take this. And he had this Chris Keefe Capital board. And I could just kind of tell, like, he didn't care. Like, it's before his time. And, and I was like, what about this? Can I grab that instead? And he was like, laughing, like, yeah, take it. And it was funny. And then Arbuckle, this is such a small world. And then Arbuckle hit me up randomly. I had no idea how this all worked either. And he's like, I want your Chris Keefe Capital board. I'll buy it all. And I'm like, who the hell is this dude? And I was like, it was a gift.
We met him the year before, a decade.
Yeah. I met him then. And I hit up Dave, like, hey, Dave, you gave me this, but this dude's like, wants to buy it off me. And he was like, yeah, do whatever. And I was like, all right, because I could probably take that and then turn this into other board, I was like, I can take this one. And now I wish I kept it. Arbuckle fucking won. Darth Vadered me. Yeah, I'm never going to find another Capital Chris Keefe. Like, yeah, he fucking kid, man. He won. But yeah, it all led into that. And it was cool doing it too, because like even like did Scoots, I got to see all those boards, which to me is just awesome. Got to go do one with you. We saw all your boards. We did our episode with Trivs, and we got to see his boards. Yeah, and it was just cool seeing all of these boards and the memories it brings back. For me, it's just like now I understand, like, this is why people do this, and this is like I love it because I just sit here and stare at all my boards. Like I do
that's what blew me away when I was working for DOA and like keeping a bunch of the ones that you would send me at, like, oh, I really need to keep a Herb board and a JD board and whatever, this, random guest board that we did. And you were like, oh, I don't keep anything. I'm like, how? Like, like, especially if it's your thing, like it would blew my mind that you didn't want to keep any. You're like, nope, I don't keep any.
Yeah. Well, it got to the point too, because I started DOA, I saved the boards. I probably for the first 15 boards, I saved one of each. And then it was like, I owe the woodshop money and I had to sell them.
Yeah.
I was like, and then it was just kind of like, yeah, I'm just going to sell it. Like, cool. You like them, you'll keep them. Cool. Because that was like a hunt to like try and track these things down. And I didn't even, if I track down a third of them, but I'm okay with it. I'm like, all right, I got the ones I want, for the most part. Still looking for the Divine Heart fucking cigarette board. Like, still looking for that one.
Oh, the Jeremy Klein one?
Yeah, that one. But I guess I don't have any of Ben's boards, any Havrans. I have none.
Do you have a Herb board?
I have a Herb board. Yeah, I have the one with the like the Nodus Rip with the dog with the mask on.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I have one of
horizontal one.
those. Yeah, I have a couple Divines. Like you gave me back the Carlos Kenner Capital one.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Just got a
I
Pat
have like
Washington back.
yeah, I got two Pat Washingtons back. Um, thanks Nam and Jimmy Chung. That was like huge. And there's still one I'm looking for. I guess if anybody out there has it, the one with the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, like the
That was from the
ADI
American Dream.
capsule. Yeah.
Yeah, that one it would be awesome to get back. But yeah, it's the whole collecting thing though. Like it's really cool to just see these boards and think of the memories, and gets me
And just
watching
see the stuff
videos.
that people have held on to.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like, why the hell did somebody keep this?
Yeah, so crazy. Because that's the thing too. Like, especially like '90s boards. Like, I get people having like the Tony Hawks and stuff. Because think of that. Those dudes were saying they were getting like $10,000 royalty checks. So they were making so many of those boards. Like, surely some of them just ended up even like, I can't sell all of these. They're in somewhere. So I understand how people have those. But yeah, the early '90s boards are probably making like 50 to 100 decks, and like nobody was saving anything. So you were just skating. That stuff blows my mind. Like, how did this end up being saved? Yeah, it's real wild, man. Well, you track down terror boards, like, it's got to be insane.
Yeah, I mean, even if they're only from the last 10 years, just like, I know only 50 of these got made or whatever, or 100 of these got made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like, who's saving? Like, people skate them. Like, it's cool to see, and when boards come up and like, what people have, and it's funny too when you start looking at like collectors, and then you can see their collections and you see other people's boards. You're like, oh, I know this dude got this board from this guy, and that's where that came from.
He's like an encyclopedia of like, oh, this was this guy's that went to this guy.
Yeah,
like, I can't keep track. I can't even keep track of where my shit went.
Yeah, it's nuts. That's Arbuckle's good with that too. He's just, he's like, oh, I know a guy who has this, and it's
that worked out. I don't know if Barry listens to this, but I wound up getting my Kerry Tree Frog back from like 2001 that I sold him probably 10 years ago, but I hit him up and he still had it and wound up buying it back from him.
Yeah, which is cool. Did the Hoarders get you anything? Like, when you did that one, did you get any?
No, just a shitload of grief.
Yeah. But you sold stickers.
Yeah, I sent that dude some stickers. I like sold them to him.
Dude, Gary's awesome. Skateboard sticker.
Yeah, that guy's cool.
He's awesome. And I think it's so cool, like, to have stickers is like such a common sense thing. Like, they don't take up a ton. I'm sure he'd probably say like, yeah, they do take up a ton of room, but you can
not like this ridiculous pile of boards behind me.
Yeah. So but it's cool, and it's a little more feasible. I'm sure there's still expensive stickers too, but it's pretty cool, like getting stuff here and there. Fun doing all that, and then it was because I did Theo, which was cool. He lives by me, and it was cool to just see everything he had. Unearthing stuff was, that was a lot of fun. And Arbuckle,
when it's not organized, and you're just like, I don't even know what's going to come out of this next box.
Yeah, it was. It's funny too. I hit him up today because Jimmy Chung hit me up. Like, he was looking for a 1995 November Thrasher. If anybody has it out there and wants to donate one to Jimmy Chung, he's looking for that. He believes that's his last American Dream ADI. It's him.
Oh man,
I want to say he's doing a 5.0
library.
I told him that, but if somebody else has it, if somebody has it out there and they want to hit him up and donate one, I'm sure he'd be appreciative. Yeah, sick ad. I'll put it up. But we were talking about that, and I hit up Theo, like, hey, Theo, you have old Thrashers, and he's like, yeah, I think I do. I was like, awesome. Like,
Did you see that somebody had a set of his screw wheels?
Yes. Yeah, he posted his own, and then somebody had a set, right?
Somebody had a set. He only had one.
Yeah. Man.
And then,
so cool.
Somebody randomly had it. Like, who keeps a set of wheels from 1995?
Yeah. That's, well, what's funny, Mitch? or they got them and they were like, these are too small or something, or I can't skate these, and they just kind of sat in a bin. I have a pair of crossbone Powell wheels that were 64 from like, they must have been from like 1990. And I have them still. It's so crazy. And like, I have 3 of them still because they were too big. I had them, and no joke, I was like a little kid and I was like, I can't even ollie on this because they're 64 millimeters or vert wheels. And I today I was just like, oh, I have 3 of these still. Like they were at my house and my mom was like, oh, I found these, and I was like, holy shit. So weird. I still have wheels from when I was a kid and the graphics are totally on them. So maybe it's something like that, or the guy was like, oh, these are cool. Oh, they're too small. I don't know.
Yeah, it must have been somebody that knew Jimmy well enough to have saved them if he got them back to him.
Yeah.
But
Jimmy told me a cool story about those. Did he tell you?
Mm-mm.
Oh, so it's pretty cool. So he said, because he got offered Birdhouse and he turned it down. And the dude who ran Screw was so happy. And he was like, Jimmy, that's awesome. Thank you. He gave him his name on a wheel. Like, oh, we're not going to turn you pro or pay you royalties, right? But we'll give you a wheel. Thanks for being loyal. So he got his name on a wheel.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because he was like really tight with Willie Santos.
Yeah, Billy loved him. Well, that's what he said. He said it was, Jimmy was telling me, and he's like, yeah, Tony Hawk called. And he was like, yeah, it's a prank phone call. And he said like he was with Mike and Bam, Maldonado and Bam, and they were at his house, and he's just like, this isn't Tony Hawk. Like, but it was Tony Hawk calling, like trying to get him on Birdhouse. Which is crazy. Yeah, like who knows what that could have done. I was like, you could have been in the end. And it's funny too, because Jimmy's like, what's the end? Totally different era, but if he would have stayed around.
Yeah.
But he was like, I don't know what that is. And I was like, oh, it's this really shitty, like 16 millimeter video, but people loved it. It was huge. And
yeah, you would have made bank.
What could have happened?
Jimmy's in like Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? Like, yeah, you could have been in Tony Hawk, dude. Man. So crazy. So what else happened?
Well, while you're looking at that, dude, my man Ronnie Kessner went pro. Love that kid. Dude, man, whatever the hell. He's like a kid in my head because I met him when he was like 11. But yeah, just toughed it out for years. Like he moved to LA or California when he was 18, and he was like 30 now or something, and just finally went pro.
Wow.
But he put on that awesome event in Atlantic City over the summer, like flew all those dudes out on his own dime. Put on this like amazing event down there just to, kind of give back to his community. So he said they're going to try and do it again next year, which would be sick.
Yeah, he's super good. We were talking about this before, and he reminds me of like Brad Cromer, like, he's really good. Like, it's funny. It's a dude I've never really even heard of outside of you, and it's like, no, this dude's like legit good.
Yeah. But yeah, he traveled for 2 years, like just going to he would come out east, stay home for a little bit, and then all of a sudden go back out and start filming. Like he would link up with a filmer and drive back to the West Coast and stop in like Detroit and stop in Chicago and just film for a few days.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah. It was super fun. Like Shane flew his family out to surprise him.
Man.
They said it was like zero notice. Like, hey, if you're doing this, if you're coming, you need to be on a plane in like 2 days.
Damn. Well, good for him.
But sick that they like legit got to surprise him.
Yeah, that's got to be really cool.
Yeah, because we thought like when the part came out, oh, well, they're going to turn him pro now. And it didn't happen. And then we were like, oh, are they going to surprise him at this event in June? And then that didn't happen. And then I guess it was like September.
Yeah, and and his part was a New Balance part.
Yeah.
He hasn't had like an April part, right?
No. But I know he's one of those people that's always working. So I have a feeling, he's got something in the works.
Okay. We did a bunch of setup stuff. That was something we got into this year. People
seem to dig that. Like we got into, I think Niall started that off with like the changing wheelbases stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. He was pre V8, man. He was making V8 boards. He was doing that. So cool. Niall's awesome. Nick at Minus, awesome dudes.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, so sick. But it's cool. I love all that little customization and making your board yours, and everybody skates different stuff. Everybody's curious about what people are using, so I think all that conversation. Hopefully, we keep up with that too. This in the following year.
Yeah, with
I think it's
whoever we
all
talk to, like seeing what they ride could be cool.
yeah, definitely. It's everybody, like I said, everybody has their own little thing, or nothing at all, and then everybody's riding something different, or because you're riding 14-inch wheelbase boards now, right?
Yeah, I'm riding that shorter wheelbase. I love it.
Yeah, and you aces, you said?
Yeah, aces right now.
So you're really bringing it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, it might be
game.
like 13 3/4 at this point.
Yeah. So cool. It's I think that's the key. That small wheelbase. It's a game changer. What else did we do? Let's see. So we did mostly setup stuff. So we had Niall on, Shane Heil. We had him on. And Shane's on Terror
cool.
now?
Yeah, Shane's on Terror. Shake John just posted a bunch of the Terror, like remixed their the footage from the 2 videos. Terror put 2 videos out this year.
Oh, cool. I didn't know they did that. Awesome.
Yeah, they put out a VX edit and then an HD edit. So,
and you said Shake John remixed his footage?
They remixed Jackson and Turbo's footage from the videos and like posted it on their, like hard posted it on their Instagram.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that was cool just to see like their footage in a different way, and I think it was like a Beagle beat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool to see them like getting some shine.
Yeah, definitely. It's awesome. Terra Planet X. What's the what is their in their like if you want to buy a board, it's www. Is it Planet Terror of Planet X or is it the Terror of Planet X? I can check this.
TerrorPlanetX.com.
.com. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that robot series we did is like just wrapping up. We have like maybe 6 complete sets left. Like They're going really fast. So that series like saved us this year. It was great for us. Like, and it's cool. It's like one that I always dug that like didn't get made the first time. Like Angel was saying, like there was like 30 or 40 of some of those boards that got made because it was right in the end of that phase. So it was like they didn't hit the numbers that they even ordered. Mm-hmm. So it was like they were super hard to get, and like I've never seen anybody with them in their collection. I know Carrie has one. And like somebody was selling a set for like a ridiculous price, but that was the only ones I've ever seen in somebody's collection.
Wow.
So, but a ton of those like Shogun collectors bought them, which was sick.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess on this topic I can kind of go into this one, but like me and Joe from Pennswood have mended our fences or whatever, however you'd say that. So Joe's awesome. He did right by me and Mike. So that's all. We're good. Joe, good job. Thanks. Very cool. So since we're talking on the terror boards and all that, I just wanted to, I guess, address that one. So there'll be no more Amish jokes. But yeah, it's cool, and he's still screening boards.
Cool that the podcast brought that together to make it happen.
Yeah, and again, I think he means well. It's just that dude just has bad luck, and his bad luck fell on me. But he's solid dude. He
years later, it's all come around, and it's cool now.
Yeah. He's gone out of his way to try and make this right, and I'm super happy about it, and just want to clear that up, take his name out of the mud, But yeah, good dude. He just did because I saw they were released. I guess I can say this, but he just pressed those Sal Barbier boards for humidity.
That's sick,
which is cool, and it's cool. Like the best thing about them is their boards are those silk screened heat transfers. So it's like a silkscreen board. I mean, you can feel the thick paint on them. So for any wall hangers and stuff. So I consider like the traffic boards, like if I wanted any traffic boards, it's definitely Pennswood and lower, because I consider them like a silkscreen board. You can see it on your terror boards. Like they just have a cool feel to them. Riding the boards, and if you like them or don't like them, that's everybody's preference. But having them on a wall, like you can tell, they're really cool. So, yeah. But that's man. Then we did. Let me see. I just had this up here.
Did an episode with Rob from ASICS.
Yeah, that's right. We did have Rob
him and
on.
Davis have been super cool to us this year,
and we should have him on again. I think that'd be really cool.
He's got stories for days, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. He's, he used to run Supernatural.
Yeah.
Clothing.
Yeah, it's funny. We talked about, because Tony Montgomery's from here. And he's like, oh, I used to sponsor that guy.
Yeah. So sick. I'm going to post a picture of his kickflip at Love. The one over the can. Yeah. It's like a long angle photo.
So they posted one the other day of this kickflip over a rail in like University City. And it's unbelievable. Like the catch, like the back foot catch is
so good, man. So good. That dude was awesome.
Dude, I don't know if you saw these yet, but this new colorway, so sick. Black leather. I saw it in that edit that they posted on Village Psychic. Yeah. So I was just like looking like, oh, when are these coming? But I just got these today from Minus. And dude, they're so like the leather, like those white leather ones lasted so good that I'm like beyond excited to skate these.
Yeah, my friend Eddie was like, dude, there's black and gold Japans. And I was like, they probably just colored it. This was like 2
That's what I thought when I saw the edit. And then I saw like a lot of people wearing them. Like more than just one person wearing them. I was like, oh no, it's got to be.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, they just colored it in. And then when they came, he's like, I told you. And I was like, all right, cool. But those are sick. And then they had those wood ones that came out. Did you get those, Mitch?
Yeah. I filmed a trick in LA and I'm psyched on it.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I got to get those. That's like the one colorway. Like I want those big time.
Yeah, they look so cool.
Yeah. Such a good shoe. So sick. Which is cool too. They're still bumping out all their colorways. They're doing everything. So ASICS, and they're always
that wood one was one like I saw it in like a picture and was like, oh, this is kind of like it's cool or whatever. But then when I put them on, it like game changer. Like, all right, I love these.
Yeah, I'm just a sucker for anything brownish in shoes. I think it's awesome. So I slept on those. What else happened? We did
we went to Albany.
We did go. That was this year, Mitch? Oh, we went again. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we went for Bachelor weekend.
Yeah, that's right. And that was awesome.
Yeah, it was a good squad. Great. You got to meet Austin. That kid rips.
Yeah, super good. That was,
It's the first time to being on the trip. Like, him and I have skated for the last, 2 years probably, but it's the first time being on a trip with him, because he's deaf. So getting to, see those things where it's, him ordering food at a restaurant, so interesting. Or, him, we're talking about, setting an alarm. And he's like, do you think I hear an alarm? Funny shit like that, where it's I don't even think about it because it's just normal to us. But he's like, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah. He was really cool.
He's so damn good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Super good. Minus his Frankie Spears board. He didn't have one of those, did he?
I think he was skating a Frankie Spears board up there.
Yeah. Well, he won't be skating them anymore. There's another one this year. He's off workshop, so workshop's cool again.
Yeah, there's something that went under, right? That workshop distribution's done.
Yeah, I guess, right? Because I don't know. I could be wrong with all this, but I heard Quasi's going to take over all their sales. Again, I don't know how true or untrue that is.
Yeah,
but that's interesting to me.
What I've heard too.
With them in Habitat, I think that would be good for them, and it would be real cool if they kind of revamped the team a lot on both of them, and then had and had it like a Alien Habitat Quasi, like a trilogy video, but with those three brands to incorporate Quasi's well respected and doing cool, but hey, we revamped these two old brands that are kind of from the same thing. And, to show them all together, I think would be really cool. That's just me. anybody ever.
Yeah, it's cool to see it. Like, we left this, and now we grew ourselves to the point where we're going to bring this bigger thing back in.
Yeah, Havelwhack. I'm just curious here, Mitch. They have a team? What the hell is this team? Who is on Havelwhack? Stefan Janowski, Suchu, Marius Silvanen still on it? Like, this is what I don't know, man. Like, call me an asshole, but Rommel Torres? Who the fuck are they? Zach Coyne? Like,
Is Dietrich on the
Kevin
website?
Lowry's still on, Mitch. That's crazy. Tyler Dietrich.
Yeah.
You know him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm psyched. He's home for a little bit. He moved out to California to do some crazy school science stuff. But I just saw that he was with Bill yesterday, so
that would be
hopefully
cool if they, like I said, if they tweak this a little or even take some quasi-flow guys and kind of sprinkle them into those two brands. Put Ben Tenner on Workshop with Humanic. That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. I think that should happen. Wink, wink.
With all that influence that we have.
Yeah. I just think that would be sick. But that would be my master plan for that, if that's even a thing. I mean, just what I heard. Not that, but just that they're going to take over the sales or something for Workshop.
Yeah, they'll distribute it.
Yeah, that would be sick. We did, let's see, Mitch, what else did we do? We did an episode about Scoot, which I guess is self-explanatory. I'd love to have Scoot on here one day. I'd love to do that.
You're gonna make YouTube subtitles work hard.
Oh my gosh, it would be great. We should have an episode with just him and Trivs and not us, and they could just go to town.
Let them guest host.
Yeah, that would be great. They could just do an episode, the two of them, about boards. That would be great. Yeah, I watched Credo for the 9,000th time. Mitch, so that's my video, like my go-to, like whenever, what's your favorite video? Credo, I don't even have to, like, what would be yours?
Maybe Eastern Exposure 3.
Cool. I was going to say that. I was going to ask you if that was it.
I feel like that's probably it, but then there's like parts that I don't care about, like the Tampa section or whatever. Like,
yeah,
it's cool,
but
it's not like, I can't wait to go home and watch this.
Yeah.
But like all the parts in it are great. Like Tim O'Connor's part's great. Reese Forbes, Barley, Rick, like all that shit is fantastic.
Yeah. Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
Jerry Fisher.
Yeah. But like Donnie Barley's City Hall footage with the Christmas lights.
Yeah.
In the black and white. Aesthetically, that's like the coolest looking footage to me.
Yeah. And he had Sal 23s on.
He did a lot.
So
dude, he does that front 180 fakey Manny from the side on the square bench.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. He had a weird foundation board on with that, right?
Yeah, because he was on Toy Machine.
Yeah.
So he was just I think he was just skating whatever Tom Yetto boards it's end him.
Yeah. I just remember it was crazy because he had like these huge wheels and the board is like super flat, like a plank. It was just like really weird looking. I remember that clip. But so good. So good, man. Yeah, that's a great video. And it's like God, that's another thing.
Music, so, like all the music in it is like top notch.
Yeah.
And like not that I give a shit about like a Dinosaur Jr. song or whatever, but like his song's super good. Tim has that Artifact song.
Yeah. Man.
Rick Jason skating Lee's. To Metallica is like, that's probably the best edited part in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
With like the really slow intro.
Man, and what's so cool is like if that part came out today, like it would still be a really cool fucking part.
Yeah.
Like the way he just utilizes skating the city and he's Mach 80 and he does flip trick. Like he does, it's funny back then I'd be like,
which flips street gaps.
Yeah. I was like, oh, he's just even like he's booking that first line, and is it his first line, the one he 360 flips up the curb.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah, because is that the first line or is the one when they go up the girls? Like you know what I'm talking about? Like and
No,
he
the
does
first line is the long front
yeah.
straight line where he like tray flips. He does something over the fire, like the sewer, the manhole cover,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
and then
know he
tray
tray
flips up
flips
the
up a curb.
curb. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's insane. Like just how fast he's going and just doing these lines and
Yeah, I feel like the other one is like the skirt one is like a flat ground tray flip and then the Wally.
yeah, yeah, that so good, man, so good. It's wow, I love it. That leads me into I got to so John Arbuckle again. He brought his whole VHS collection. So he's like, I guess like the three dudes I know who are like these huge VHS collectors. But it's you got Arbuckle, you got Brendan's Secret Tape, and this dude Sam in Pennsylvania. And Sam's awesome. And so Arbuckle's like, he's like, oh, I brought my VHS home because I kind of got into those a little too now. I just think it's cool when I saw it. Like I went over to Tim Bobsher's place and I just saw his VHSs all displayed, and I was like, "This is so cool!" Like they just look cool, and I was like, "All right, I'd love to collect these things too." But yeah,
I think I
going over
tried to
Arbuckle's
sabotage myself from starting to collect those by giving you a bunch of mine.
Yeah, you did. You gave me some gold too, which I appreciate.
Let me get these out of here.
Yeah, yeah, because it's one of those things like that. Started getting into magazines, and it's like, oh my god, like it never ends. The magazines are cool because it's like I don't want to buy a board or a video, but magazines are going to be like $15 if I'm lucky, and I like looking at them. But when I went to Arbuckle's, it was cool seeing the videos he has, even just to like refresh in my head, like, oh, that video's out. Funny story too with that. So I'm over there and I see this video and it says A1 video, and I was like, this is the A1 Meets video. I was like, this looks weird. And Arbuckle, I was like, I've never seen. He's like, yeah, it's not Dancing in the Dirt. It's a different one. Have you ever seen Dancing in the Dirt, Mitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome video. And I was like, oh, this is sick. And I sent it to the dude Sam a picture, and I was like, he has this video. I've never even seen this A1 Meets video. And dude Sam's like politely just like, you guys are both wrong. That's a new school video. And it was like A minus it was called or something, and we're like, oh, it's the A1 Meets video. So it was kind of funny, humbling moment. But he had a lot of cool shit, so it was cool to see. He had this one video, it was called like Animal Something, and it had Eric Pupecki's name on it. It was like this Boston, but they filmed it. It looked like the coolest video until we watched it. Because I was like, Arbuckle, put it in your VCR, we got to watch this. Like Eric Pupecki's on here, it says Jamal Williams, Robbie Gangemi. And it was like the worst video ever. It was like at like some demo in 1992 or 93. And like it was the same 10 clips just looped all over again. It was horrible.
Oh.
But it was cool to see all this stuff and like kind of get an idea again of like, oh, I haven't seen this video in years. This is cool. I should, watch this again.
Yeah.
So
sometimes you
awesome.
watch those videos back and you're like, oh, maybe this was better off in my memory than it is.
Yeah, that happens too. There's a lot of that. It was crazy though because I never watched Thrasher videos because I was always like, they're probably just bowls. And I mean, a lot of them have a lot of that in it, but there is some like really cool stuff in there. So I missed that all of them. Like never watched them. So I was doing that last night, like starting to go through them, and like 2/3 of them are kind of like bowls and whatnot. But that other third of the video, it's like super good stuff I missed out on. So that was pretty cool. So I'll thank Arbuckle and Sam for that one. But yeah, so we did that.
I'm sure you don't want to bring it up, but you put out a part this year?
Yes, I put out a part. I think the footage was probably like minimum 2 years old in there. But yeah, I released a part. So I was happy to do that. Thanks, Chris at Comfort, for giving me a platform to put it on. Super thankful for that. But it was cool to finally get it out. And that was it. I haven't filmed anything since.
Yeah, I mean, there was some surprising stuff in there, though. Like, and we skated a bunch.
Yeah, that was with Connor. Connor White, man, where are you? But it was cool skating with him a lot. So, you have somebody who's also, it was that was a lot of fun, man. I liked skating with Connor, and I miss that. So that's it. New
Yeah.
Year's resolution, right? More skating.
Yeah, that was a good, but it was good. Like the song, the way it was put together.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I guess it's cheating editing your own stuff. You can kind of pick and choose. You're not relying on somebody else. So I can use this, use that. Make it how I want to make it. But it was fun to do. And again, I'm just happy I had, again, Chris at Comfort, give me a platform to put it on. I got to thank Angel for putting me on to, 12 Reasons to Die. Because I never listened. Love Ghostface, never heard it. And he was like, what? You never, you guys were telling me about it. And
Yeah, because that's that KT board.
Yeah.
That's
The fencing board.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. And so cool. That was like huge. So that helped. Yeah, a lot of fun, man. That was so happy to finally put it out because that was just like I was like, I'm sick of looking at this. I gotta do something. So that was fun for me. I guess going in, I'm 46 now. Like I didn't think I'd be at 46 years old putting out a part of any. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sometimes, it's nice to know there's still a little gas in the tank, and still go to these. Push yourself to do stuff. You're working on a part.
Yeah.
You got a part coming out.
Yeah. I got a part coming out next year. I don't know what it's going to be. I mean, I've been working on it for like 2 years because you edited my 42 part. That came out when I turned 42 and I'm 45 now. So I guess 3 years of clips, which is like not that old.
No.
But yeah, I've been filming out with Bill a ton, and I got to try. Like I went and got a clip with Vern in LA. I've gotten like some New York clips. I've been all over, like trying to get clips where I can.
Yeah, very cool.
So yeah, I'm excited for it. This is the first like video that like I've been in that I'm not the one putting it together.
Nice.
Like everything else I've done has been like solo parts. So it's exciting to be like part of something.
Is it fun to be hands off with it? Like, here, you do everything. I'm good. Like you just, I'm just skating. I'm not editing. I'm not doing you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I was having a conversation with Kai the one day, I think when I was out there, and he's like, everybody should have a part that they're like proud of before they're done skating. Like just have something that like you really feel like I gave it everything I got.
mm-hmm.
I feel like it's crazy that like to have three parts since I turned 40. And then this one, I feel like probably the best, like aside from getting hurt and having to like work my way back from that, like it's probably the best stuff I filmed in years.
Mm-hmm.
And like Bill's the best with filming that stuff because he's like so motivating, but like he'll kind of like guide you of like, oh, well, you should try this here, or like here, let's find this spot.
Yeah,
so, and it's cool to be with like dudes like that guy Austin, who's like 22 or whatever, and like ripping, and it just kind of pushes me a little bit more to be like, oh, if he's going to skate this spot, I'm going to try and skate it. Like I'm not doing tricks that are close to as hard as what he's skating, but I'm getting something.
Yeah, no, it's good having the energy. It's good.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And he's hyping me up to try stuff. So it's like, and then like Pat, I've been skating with for 20 years. So it's like so crazy to see him like have another like really good part ready to go.
Yeah. Very cool. And you said next year.
Yeah, I think he's trying to have it out by the spring. So I got to like get my shit together and get these last couple clips.
Yeah, I got to get my shit together. I have to get the epic guest trick.
Yeah, I definitely need a guest trick from you.
Yeah, so I got to learn how to skate again.
I think I have one guest trick already that I'll tell you about later. I'm psyched on this.
Very cool. Is it Frankie Spears?
Damn it, he ruined it.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
That'd be funny if it actually really was. And you were really like afterwards, like, dude, you really blew it. Like, why the fuck did you say that? He gave me this sick nose blunt. In cool Frankie Spears news, he just had this year he had a guest board on Hazel, which is a local Long Island company, Fio's company, Dan Fio, good dude. So I thought that was really cool. Like that he, said like, hey, Dan, you used to hook me up and do all the shit for me. I wrote for your brand years ago, like, and did a guest board with him. I thought that was actually really cool. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I back that.
Neither of us are the biggest Frankie fan, but that was cool of him to like, I'm in this limbo position right now. Like, let me do this with you in the meantime.
Yeah, really cool. Not to make this all about Frankie, but like, I think his intentions are right. Just things don't come out sounding how they should. But you can watch the Bunt interview and see for yourself. But I think in my head, I like understand where he was going, but it just doesn't sound like that coming out. But oh well, that was cool though. He did a guest board with Dan, so anybody wants that, Hazel Skateboards. Dan's a good dude. He's been doing it forever.
Yeah.
What else, Mitch? What else we got? We did. We had Tom Asta on.
Oh,
our highest profile guest ever.
Yeah, Tom's sick. YouTube's crushing it. He's doing good with his the pants he's making.
Yeah,
because that's everybody's first question to like everybody is, what pants are you wearing?
Yeah.
When you get sick of it, and you're just like, all right, I'm going to make them.
Yeah. Oh, then good for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very cool. It's crazy how good he is.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just saying it's crazy how good that dude is. Like,
yeah, and he's figured into this YouTube thing of like he gets to skate all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he doesn't have like how many pro skaters right now have side jobs or real jobs and just are pro skaters on the side. Like he doesn't have to
that's
do that.
What it is.
Gotta.
Yeah. In skating, right? It's either you're a trust fund kid or you're working jobs. Like very few pros are just pro to be pro, and that's what pays the bills.
Yeah, what is it? Maybe 5% don't have some kind of other income.
Yeah. So it's good for him that he's able to, he hustles in other ways.
Yeah, get that YouTube money and be able to get to skate with Shane all the time. And not that I would want to skate with Shane all the time, but
that's another one. It's just crazy to me how good he is. Like talent-wise, he can do like a lot of tricks. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, Shane's always been really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I was saying we reviewed Penny's not bad video.
Yes, we did.
And then depending on when this comes out, his new video will have premiered probably.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool, right? Because that's the end of basically that video is the end of Muni.
Yeah, the end of Muni. Like all the footage of like all the weird stuff that they built that they were like trying to not have people see is all. He said it's like a 12 or 13 minute video. You got to assume it's going to be on Thrasher sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Penny's
he's kind of the best. Like he's like the epitome of a skate rat. Like
really is. Like knows everything.
Yeah. He lives it. And it's amazing. It really is that.
Yeah, he does
amazing.
The most. Like makes
it's
like, oh, we're gonna tear down Muni. I'm gonna make a spot down below in the pit. I'm gonna cut all these bushes out. I'm gonna build ledges. I'm gonna do all this shit so that we can keep skating. I'm gonna connect with people so we can get the lights turned on. We're gonna replace the light bulbs ourselves.
Yeah.
Like crazy
so cool,
shit.
Man. Yeah.
Like so resourceful.
Yeah, totally. It's admirable, and there's not enough of that anymore. And it's like keeping street skating alive. It's so sick. And back at 200%.
Yeah,
definitely. There's great skateboarding needs more of that.
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll have something to talk about with that when it comes out.
Yeah, can't wait for that. And Venture made an 8-hole truck.
Yeah, we
That
talked about
happened.
those.
Yep. What else? Jamie Foy won Skater of the Year. Yay.
Yeah, I think we talked about that in the last episode. Like, I saw that coming. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was a little nervous they were going to give it to Elijah Burrell when they started posting all that like interview stuff with him.
Oh man, thank God they didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
I
that
get
he's a
that
bad
dude's really
skater,
good at
but
what he does, but
yeah, I don't know. Who cares? Tiago next year. Tiago 2025. I wonder if he's ever going to get it.
yeah,
Is
I
he?
know. But I feel like he keeps pumping out stuff,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like, is one of these, one of these has to be the year.
Yeah, hopefully. Oh God, I'm old. Hopefully next year, man. Hopefully next year.
Yeah, because he's not young.
No, he's. Is he 30? I don't think he's 30, or if he is, he's like 30.
No, if Ronnie's 30, I feel like Tiago's.
I can. Let's see. We can check this. What is it? Go on there. I usually go on the border. It's whenever I'm bored and I want to look at how old pros are. He's 33.
Yeah.
He's earned $38,500 in contest earnings.
It's so funny that that's like just out there.
Yeah, he is an all-time global ranking, 201st overall and 111th in street.
Yeah, but he like doesn't skate contests.
Nope, but pretty crazy. He's globally ranked. Man,
Yeah, good
I used
for
to
him.
love going on that site. Everybody out there, it's the BOARDR.com, and like you can just type in random pros or anybody you know is sponsored and see how old they are. I've had nights I've just gotten lost on there, just like this dude's how old?
Yeah. Well, that was like the old
kind of
Tampa site where you could find everybody's like pictures from when they skated Tampa Am.
Yeah, amazing.
And we would just look up like these young ass pictures of like Cannon or Matt Militano or like all the dudes from here because they're all
Or
their
Mike
pictures
McCarthy.
are terrible.
The Mike McCarthy
McCarthy's
picture.
is terrible.
Yeah, it's the best. Oh my God, so amazing.
Yeah.
Mike got kicked off Mini Logo.
Well, everybody got kicked off Mini Logo.
Yeah, but McCarthy lost his sponsor. It's been a rough year for him.
But he got out skating a bit, which is good to see.
Yeah,
that
totally.
Crazy ass knee surgery, out for 2 years and back doing.
Yeah, man. Good for him.
Yeah, almost doing switch trays.
Man. Who's a pro you're curious how old they are?
Oh, shit. I don't know. Who do I...
Let's
see how much longer do I have to be subjected to Frankie Villani footage?
Well, here, I'll give you this one. Kevin Taylor's 51.
Yeah. He's fucking grandpa.
So, dude,
he's got grandkids
so
and skates so damn good still.
Yeah, that's so sick. Oh, and would you say Frankie Villani?
Yeah, he's probably not even on there. He's probably never skated a contest.
Mitch, you should know your favorite skater's age.
Oh.
Frankie Villani. Let's see. Oh, I spelled his name wrong. Is it with a Y?
I think so.
Yep, it's with a Y. Oh my God. Make everything difficult. Oh gosh. All right, Mitch. What's your guess?
I don't know. 28.
29. So if he goes the Gino route, you got a few more years of him. About 20-something years. Jean-Baptiste Gillet is, I believe he's my age. Oh, it doesn't, there's a question mark, but I think he's like 36.
36?
45, 46. I wish I was 35.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Shit, man.
Yeah, anything else? 40. Like, how crazy is that? P-Rod is
He really
40.
is?
Yeah. They just had like I saw something, I think they did like a 40th birthday party for him or some shit.
Paul Rodriguez. USA. 39.
Hmm.
Oh, he earned $145,000 in contests.
It's so funny. Like, imagine being 39 and still making 100 grand in contests.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a cumulative. I don't know if that's just their
I don't
career
know. I feel
earnings.
like some of those X Games contests were like 50
Oh,
grand themselves.
oh yeah. Let's see here. Hold on, because this goes. What's
Yeah,
funny
like
is
what's it say?
it says
Nigel's
he hasn't
number is.
entered. There's nothing. His contest history ends at 2022, so it must be a cumulative. Wow, he won
Interesting.
25 grand in the Barracks Run and Gun in 2015. Wow, must be nice.
I wonder if this is just money they got from like events that the Border's involved in.
Yeah, well, yeah, that I don't know.
Oh, but then again, it's a barracks contest, so maybe not. I don't know. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, yeah, man, good for him. All right, anything else, Mitch?
No, I mean, we covered all the stuff we did this year, and I mean, there was a ton of other stuff in skating that I'm sure we're just forgetting about because we're not prepared. But
Yeah, what? Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going brain dead. If there is anything, leave it in the comments. Maybe we can have like a
I know I'm
reaction
like
video to
trying to
this
think
one
of
or
like
whatever. Yeah.
I bought. I was trying to think of like boards I bought this year, and I'm like, oh, I got
Hmm.
Brian O'Dwyer's first board. I got Ronnie's board, and I think that's it for like local people that got boards.
Yeah.
For Christ's sake, where is Jameer's board?
Oh wait, hold on, Mitch. No, you got like, didn't you get like a Dark Star board or something?
What?
Like
Oh
one?
God, yes, yeah. I got the
Was it
my
Madrid?
furthest. Yeah, the Madrid board. You're right. He did go
Yeah.
pro this year.
There you go. So you got that. You got a Chaz Ortiz this year too.
Yeah, but that wasn't a new. I had to check a Chaz
No.
Ortiz off the box.
Yeah.
I need a
You
Trevor
got the
Colden
best
board.
man. Well, I'm happy for that aspect of it that I don't run contests. But you know
Yeah,
what's
and
funny?
it's a dumb thing of like, oh yeah, I do this because it's well these guys.
I did get this because it was a Sayers board, and I should probably, since I've known him for a while, so I figured I should have it.
Oh, is that a new
But
graphic?
yeah, I don't
Haven't seen that one yet.
understand it. There's like hydrants on top of each other without tops bolted together, but not. It's a gap here, but the water's not coming out, but it's coming out here. But yeah, I had to
Artistic
get a
license.
Sayers board, so I have this one.
Yeah, I got that Albany egg one. Oh yeah, that video came out this year.
Oh, the traffic video, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
I got him to sign a board, and Del Negro called me out for kidnapping him to get him to come sign it.
Yeah, good. It's, you know what? Good thing that you did. Get all those things. Get all that stuff, man. I think it's
Yeah, Sayers rules. Nicest dude.
yeah, really good skater. But
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that stuff. Like, if it's for my collection, like I don't care what people think. If it's
yeah,
it's for me. It's what I do. I'm not gonna change it.
I mean that's it. And you know what? If they didn't want to do it, they'll tell you no.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny. Weird one. But I sold a board to somebody and they had me sign it. It was a DOA board. Somebody
Oh
wanted.
shit!
I have two of them. Yeah, and they asked me to sign it, and that was weird. I've never signed, and I'm like, you don't want my signature, And I was like, I'll do it. Like, if you're asking for it, I'm not gonna say no. But that was an interesting, like a very weird moment for me, like signing something.
Yeah.
I just, this is lowering the value of this already. You sure? But,
Yeah, the one shop we skated for when we were younger made us do like a signing. It was super awkward. Nobody gave a shit. Like it was like we were signing posters, but like no one cared.
Yeah,
it was super
funny.
weird.
I remember
who the hell? What kid has a poster that I signed? Like who cares?
We back in like it was 2001 or something. We did a shop video, and I was working at the shop, and this kid came in. And he's like, "Oh, your name's Steve, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're in the special sauce video. Can you sign my cast?" He had a cast, and I was like, sure, And it's funny, so I sign his cast, and he's like, "Oh, so cool." And he goes to me, he's like, you gotta answer a question for me. And I was like, sure, dude. And he's like, "How do you fakie flip so well?" And I was like, in my head, I'm like, I don't have one fakie flip in my fucking part. I was like, oh no, he thinks I'm Brian Davis, which is like this local dude that,
But he
interesting
knew your
character.
name.
He knew my name, but he must have not really,
Like mixed up your
paying
part and his
attention.
part.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, I just remember Brian Davis had like 2 fakie flips in his part. And I'm just sitting there like, he doesn't even, I was like, oh, he called me Brian Davis. No offense, Davis. But yeah, I was like, oh.
But that reminded me, as you're saying that, Angel's board came out.
Yeah. Angel dropped a board. Angel skates.
Oh.
He's like a pro now.
Yeah, Kai dropped a board. Angel was so worried that people were going to say, like, oh, you turned yourself pro. But there's none of that shit. He didn't even get a choice in it until it was pretty much done.
Yeah, he rips, man. He's so fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy just to watch him, like, all that shit that he did on that new thing at 7th Street this year. All ridiculous. Yeah,
I always used to tell him, like, just kick your team off and you can be the only rider. You'll be set. Like, him and Maldonado, keep it like that. And I just think, like, he's just really good. I'm not throwing shade at anybody else. I guess I'm trying to just say, like, he's a really good skater.
Yeah, but he legitimately deserves to be sponsored or, like, it's not. Yeah. He put the work into. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Super sick. And he doesn't wear the black skinny jeans anymore, so his footage looks way cooler.
But
he sent me footage once. It was in Spain, and he fakey flipped a double set, and like he was dressed like he was on Zero. Did you ever see that?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. That was like the Enrique Lorenzo trip.
Yep, and it's funny because he's like, Enrique Lorenzo filmed this, and I was like, oh, wow, you fakey flipped a double set. But I was like, wow, you're dressed like, Garrett, whatever his name, Garrett Hill.
Garrett Hill.
Yeah. Angel had the half red, half black pants on.
Oh my God.
Skinny spandex pants. But yeah, he looks a lot cooler now.
Yeah, way cooler.
It's awesome. Shit, man.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of shit this year, but it was good. I feel like overall everything went really well for both of us, and start this year off. Next year, get to it again. Yeah,
well, hopefully next year too, I'll have a proper room to podcast in. So I'm super excited about that. Not being in a hallway. That'll be cool. Eventually, fingers crossed.
Got to move the cat tree into the new office.
I don't know what we're doing with that. There's nobody in there today. But I don't know what's going on with that. I'm going to try and not claim that in the podcast room.
So, but yeah, it's cool once you get to a spot where like you can hang up your boards that you've collected and like be able to just be like, all right, this is, like you said, not in a hallway.
It kills me now. Like I have like 95% of my boards are like on the floor, like in stacks and bags. But like
before I bought this house, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, all my stuff was just in boxes because we didn't have enough rooms to do this. So when we bought this house, it was like, all right, I have a room that I can make mine.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Mitch, let me ask you a question, I guess, for anybody out here too. So like your boards are all lined up really well. Do you just have wire on them and a picture hanger, or do you have actual specific hangers for them?
So I connected with this dude on Facebook that bought. So he makes these things. They're like this part is the plug that goes in that you like use for your car, like when you're putting on like the plastic underneath. Mm-hmm. It's the right size that it goes in the truck hole. And then he just measures out the wire. So you put these in the truck hole like that. They just go in and then they're all the same and then I just have picture hangers all along that are all level. So then all the boards pretty much hang at the same height.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So it's like, they're consistent because it's like when you try and do the string or whatever, like some are longer, some are shorter. You got to try and like figure it out where like at least these are, and then he charges like $2 a piece or something. So, and I can swip, if I'm taking a board off the wall, I just pop it out, put it in the new one and hang it right back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
really and it's so much easier if I want to take one down. It's like just slides right off.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, because Arbuckle has them on the ones he has hanging. He has like a 2x4, and he had to measure all the board holes on it and everything. And he was like, "This is a nightmare." And he's like, some of these older boards too, the holes aren't exactly accurate, so they're not almost interchangeable. Oh. And then I was like,
that's the only thing I run into is like when I have, boards from the 90s hanging with a modern board, and it's like I have a KT Zoo York board that's like a 7.5. And when I hang it with these other ones that are all like 8.25s, it looks off, but it's just because the board's smaller.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying, because that's what I have. And I'm like, there's varying board sizes. And
yeah, or some are longer than others. It looks weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's cool. Because, yours look like perfect up there.
Yeah, well, luckily, like all these Terror ones all came out within like the last, like definitely 10 years. So it's easy enough to, or like, when I try and buy an 8.25 of everything of the ones I'm keeping, if we make them in like multiple sizes. So that way I know it'll be fairly consistent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool. All right. Anything else you want to touch on?
No, I think that's really it. Like I said, I'm just kind of pushing to next year and want to have some guests on and get into this stuff.
Yeah. 2025, man, we'll have, hopefully I'm more situated, and then, get our schedule back.
Yeah. It's cool to hear people, hitting us up like, oh, when are you guys coming back? Like when we're not doing it. So it's like people give a shit and want to hear it. So
yeah, which is always nice to know.
Yeah. I talked to
deaf ears.
Like Nick from Minus today sent me that note in the shoes and was like, can't wait for new episodes. Like that's rad.
Yeah. So Nick, this one's dedicated to you, this episode. So everybody should go to minuskateshop.com and buy a ton of stuff. Nick's awesome.
Yeah. They make sick shop gear.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, they rule.
But yo, you got to break out and I got to break out. World for life.